Hey there, and welcome back to my channel, Weirdly OCD. Today's video is going to be in response to a subscriber's email that I recently received about how to make a house feel like a home. I recently got an email from a subscriber on my channel that she explained a situation that her and her two kids are currently living at her father's house. And coming up in early October, she's going to close on her very own house. Now, she's been living at her father's house because she got out of an abusive relationship. And before I go any further, I want to say how proud I am of you of getting you and your kids out of that situation. I know a lot of times it's very difficult to get out of those situations, even if you're wanting to, and to find the courage to do so. So I am very, very proud of you for making a better life for you and your children. So moving on. The first tip I would give you is think about the style you want your house to be. What kind of decor do you want to go for? As far as Tony and I, we're into 60s and 70s. So those are the pieces that we kind of laser focused and had tunnel vision on when we were living at my parents' house before we got our own place. And it's kind of difficult nowadays to find stuff like that, only because it's kind of a big trend. But if you look hard enough, you can find things at the Goodwill, Salvation Army, garage sales, estate sales. I know a lot of times people will think, oh gosh, estate sales, things are expensive there. Honestly, a lot of times I went to estate sales and auctions, and it's cheaper there than it was at the Goodwill at Salvation Army, simply because people have been inherited, or they have inherited, these properties and all this furniture, and they just want to get rid of it. They don't want to deal with it, so they will sell it for whatever it gets sold for. So you would be surprised at how cheap you can get stuff. My next tip would be that if you really wanted to personalize your house, include some photos of you and your children. So this here is just a little record table that we have in the living room, and we personalized it with some pictures. This is a picture here of my grandparents, and this is a picture of Tony's mother, and this is a picture of us with some friends. The two frames of the 8x10s came from Dollar Tree. They were only $1 each, and they look more expensive than $1. As you can see on this one, it kind of has some beading around the edges, which makes it look really nice. And this one here kind of has an imprint. I don't know how well you can see it, but it kind of almost looks wood carved. But those are from Dollar Tree. Now, I don't know how close you live to a Dollar Tree or a dollar store in general, but definitely personalize your home with pictures of you and your family. Another thing I would recommend is if you or your kids have any type of collections that you like to build on, include those collections in your home. For instance, we like to collect Pyrex bowls or nice vintage bakeware and cookie jars that look like houses. You know, this is just something that we personally seek out, we look for. It's a good time. It makes the house feel personable because it's things that we like to collect, things that we do together as a family, and we bring them home, and we not only make it personal because it's a personal object that we picked out, but then we can also remember the time that we went and we found it and the fun that we had when doing so. Another piece of advice I would give you, and this is something that Tony mentioned to me, is let your children decorate their own room. That way, even though they more than likely will feel that their entire house is theirs, especially if you ask them what they want in the home, they can contribute to it and make it feel like it's theirs. Let them decorate their own room. That way they have their own individual private space, and when they go to it, they know that they put it together, and it feels even more personal for them and more homey. Something else I would recommend, and I'm sure people may find it a little bit corny, who knows, maybe not, but decorating your house for the holidays. Nothing says family to me more than the holiday season, especially right now coming up with Thanksgiving and Christmas around the corner. Me and Tony just recently decorated just a little bit of our living room and kitchen area for fall. We just took some fake leaves that we had and put them along the mantle here, along with putting a couple of leaves on the end tables. And we also just put a simple fall colored floral arrangement in this vase. And then here in the kitchen, let me move these there real quick. And in the kitchen, we just put down this simple fall runner with like a ceramic pumpkin decor, which it isn't a lot, but it makes it feel more homey because you have decorations that bring the holiday season around and make you feel, I don't know, just to me, holidays signify family and friends getting together. And going along with the whole holiday theme, I know that she had mentioned in her email that her kids love the smells of fall, like apple cinnamon and pumpkin spice, things like that. You can definitely find those kind of scents at a Dollar Tree or a dollar store if that isn't around you, for pretty cheap. I haven't personally looked at our Dollar Tree for those specific scents, but I do remember that in years past they had them in the little bead type scents, like the little water bead things, and also just like the scented candles. They're only about maybe that tall. I know that doesn't really do a lot of description on video, but you can definitely find those scents for cheap. I would also say that if you've been gifted anything of your parents or maybe even grandparents that you could bring to your home to decorate or put on display, would definitely help your house feel like a home. I have a few things in our house that was from my grandparents' house, who both passed away almost 20 years ago now, and it's definitely nice to have something of theirs in my home. It's still on display, still being used, still cherished, and especially if it's something that your children have seen every day while living at your dad's place, it'll definitely make them kind of almost probably feel like your dad is there. But I know that having my grandparents' stuff in our house has definitely made it feel like they are here, and it makes it feel even more like a home. So I hope some of those tips helped. I know it wasn't a whole lot of tips, and honestly, I racked my brain pretty hard to try and think of how to really make a house feel like a home. I think all in all, as soon as you walk through the door, it's going to feel like home because it's your own place. You're with your own kids. You're going to be bringing some of your own stuff in so you can personalize it right from the get-go. And I'd say along with these, plus the tips that I've given you, you should definitely have a great start. If anybody wants to leave any comments for her down below, if any ideas that you have that I may not have said, please do so. I'm sure she would definitely appreciate any additional help she could get. But with that, that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.